Exciting way to start here at Alexander. A lot going on there in the ninth inning. Give us your view of it.
There was a lot going on in the ninth inning. That's very accurate. First off, I want to thank the crowd that showed up at Alexander. That was awesome. And for us, we want to pack this place. We want to give this place a real feeling of excitement, and we're going to bring an exciting brand of baseball. I think you saw that tonight. It was a low-scoring game, and I think it was going to be a low-scoring game with that kind of pitching that was getting rolled out there, and then the conditions being cool and kind of damp and that kind of thing. There was no surprise, but there was a lot going on in the ninth inning with some details, some fake steals that led to some commotion and some other stolen base jumps, and on top of some just simple hustle play. After a Jackson McGowan strikeout, he had every right, and we've seen it many times before in other programs where a strikeout and the guy turns around and just kind of hangs his head and goes to the dugout. And maybe in his weakest moment, he had enough courage still to say, the heck with it, I got to get to first base quick. And he didn't pout, he didn't complain, he didn't play umpire, he got to first base, and that obviously ended up being critical.
And then on the hit and run, that next play, getting from first to third, that's why that balk made such a big difference at the end.
Unbelievable situation, for a freshman, Milo Beam to take off. He was going on a straight steal, and the hitter obviously had a green light and a 2-strike count, and he smoked it into the left field. And usually a freshman's going to just get very tentative at that point and not try to stretch it to third base because he's scared, and he wasn't. And we teach that, going for it. If you're open, shoot. And he did. He shot. He went for it. It ended up working out for him. And then Skylar Hunter's, after the glove steal and all that kind of stuff that went on, Skylar Hunter's steal jump at first base to get himself in a position to score on a hit at second, and then to follow that up with the balk and then the slow roller. If he doesn't get the second base, then that slow roller leaves him at third to end that inning, potentially, or we have another hitter and we're still on the field playing.
Can you talk about just how, in terms of facing adversity, bouncing back, you spent a lot of time out there on the field. How important is it for your team to understand and sort of get this sort of win in their system, this close game sort of win?
Well, from the start, we talked about this is our park. And when you're in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning of a baseball game, and it's a close baseball game, and you're at home, even if you're losing, that should feel like a win. You're going to win that game. And so the mentality of our kids not to quit was clearly there, and so that's a proud moment. We had a lot of loose ends in the ball game, though, that we need to clean up. Nevertheless, the way that they attacked it, went after it, especially when the game was on the line and in balance, was really something that we're teaching, and they're grabbing a hold of, obviously. The reason for the long debrief in the outfield, or pretty long debrief, is because of our consistency. We'll have a chance to show up like we did there in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, and we'll all game today and really play hard and get after it, and then we'll take a day off like we did on Sunday, where it's embarrassing and it's not representative of us or our families or the institution. And that's something that we have to wear when we show up, when we don't put that kind of effort out there. We're looking for consistency, and that was the long message, was we've got the ability to do this thing, and so now do we have the ability to be able to sustain this thing for the days that we're asking you to during ball games and practices.
What did the umpires say when Evan got tossed? What was his explanation on the whole thing?
Well, it was a judgment call, and I like to think that he made the right decision, and there's things that we can and can't do on the field, and we ended up paying the consequence for a young man's actions, whether they were severe enough to get thrown out of the game or not. The umpire's judgment, they were, and that's all that matters. And so we'll respect that, and we move on from there.